What's up YouTubers, Aldo is Jay back with a brand new video for yous. Thank you so very much for returning to this channel. Thank you so very much for clicking on this video, and if you guys have clicked on this video, yous have obviously seen the recent collection videos that I've been doing. The first set was of my Dudley Boys, aka the tag team replicas, and most recently I've done the women's division collection part 1, which had the NXT UK and the NXT version 2 championships respectively. This video has two very historical championships, and one that came about in the autumn of 1998, and I'm obviously just going to get right into here because this championship needs no other introduction, because it has had a historical number of women holding this championship. The first inaugural person of this version of this respective championship was Jacqueline Moore, and then it has went on to many greats, in fact Hall of Famers now, with I being the first, I being Jacqueline Moore, and Trish Stratus, Molly Holly, Michelle McCool quite recently. So you guys know which one it is I'm talking about. It is the 1998 Attitude Era Women's Championship. Now, this one is as basic as they come. And for those that don't know, back in the day when this was, making myself sound old here when I say that, back in the day. So, back in 1998, when they were scrambling to get a women's belt done and out of the way, they asked the belt maker that made Stone Cold Steve Austin's Smoking Skull belt if they had time to do a belt for them. Excuse me. And what they did was actually quite lazy. They took some of the blueprint from Austin's Smoking Skull belt, the plates from that, and just smacked shattered glass on the face of that Smoking Skull belt. So it's almost as if the women were breaking through. At least that's what I get from here. But I mean, it is an absolutely historical belt. It has had two versions done to it. Obviously, this one being the Attitude Era version, and there's also another version as well, which is the E version with the nameplate on it. Now, that version of the championship has had the likes of Mickie James, Trish Stratus, Lita, and it ended with Michelle McCool and Layla respectively in 2010. So unfortunately this died. The original history of the Women's Championship, because keep in mind this one's history is with the likes of the Fabulous Moolah, Wendy Richter, Sherry Martel, Medusa, aka Alundra Blaze for WWF people, WWE people. Sable has had this. Deborah somehow had this. Stone Cold Steve Austin's ex-wife. And Stacey Carter, aka the Cat, Jerry Lawler's ex-wife, somehow managed to get it as well. Stephanie McMahon has even held this championship at one point too. We won't go there with how she had it. But yeah, it's a shame that this died, and it was a shame that what it morphed into several years down the road, which was essentially the Raw Women's Championship, into what it is now on TV. It's a shame that the history of it, of this particular one, died in 2010. It is a real shame, because it would have carried so much history. But we know what the WWE like to do. They like to they like to close history on certain championships, make a brand new ones and have brand new history, i.e. like what they've done with the tag team championships. But anyway, so in 2008, while this was on Raw, when the women's division was getting quite stacked, and it was getting really stacked actually for that time, they had so many women on TV then. But of course, as we know from history, a lot of the women didn't get a lot of airtime. But for SmackDown, they felt they needed a new championship, and we were going through the Divas era, the major Divas era. The Divas era started with the Attitude Era. Some would say it actually started with Tammy Stinch a lot earlier than that. But we were going with the Divas era, and this was staying, but another butterfly came from that as well. The championship I'm talking about is the WWE Divas Championship Replica. Now, this has always had, people have always had a love-hate relationship with this replica. Yes, it is just a massive butterfly, but with me being a pink guy, as if you couldn't tell, I like it. I like the pink and the silver and the black and the white. I think it looks really, really cool. Funnily enough, this was my late wife's favourite belt. That out of the women's division, she absolutely loved this belt. This was donated for my wife's memory by a dear friend of mine. It is locked up in a case, locked up in a glass case, and this is the first time in a long time, well, in the last couple of years since I've took that out, so it feels strange holding this, because obviously it was my wife's belt, and it is my wife's belt, and yeah, but it is a lovely, lovely belt. The inaugural champion was Michelle McCool, and it has went on leaps and bounds to a certain point. I mean, here's some history for you. When they were done with this, this became this. So the history of this unfortunately died, and this picked up and went forward more. It went all the way forward to the likes of Mickie James, Nikki Bella, Beth Phoenix, Eve Torres, and it eventually went to Ashley Flair, aka Charlotte Flair, where she was the last Divas champion, where at WrestleMania 32 we got introduced to the updated version of the Women's Championship. So this has had some history as well, as much as the Black Attitude Era one. But anyway, rambling again. So let's get into what we always do here, and let's talk some replicas. Okay guys, so because of the size of the belt, I'm just going to put everything in the one detailed segment, okay? So from the main plate and the side plates and the strap, it's just going to be in one segment of this video, so bear with me. So to start off with, you have the WWF Attitude Era logo, World Wrestling Federation Women's Champion in red. Now, as we know, in the E version, this is WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment, and then you have a nameplate underneath that. Nice, but what I think is weird about this, and I said at the start of the video, is basically just the Smoking Skull main plate with given a shattered glass effect, where this gold and black outline here that's meant to be shattered glass, and then women have punched through it and given excuse me, this effect here. Now, the effect behind the women's logos, sorry, the women's champion name, is like a mesh wall effect, which I find is very strange. And what else is strange is these should have been roses, not barbed wire, because the women very rarely I should say, were in extreme hardcore matches. So these could have been roses, flowers. Let's go for flowers. They could have been flowers to represent the women, but no, they definitely were not. And this is as flat as a pancake, if not flatter. But yeah, it is a nice basic, but at the same time, it's got stuff going on it that just doesn't make sense at the time. But I mean, if anybody remembers when this came out in the autumn of 1998, this was a rush job. They had the match between Jacqueline Moore and Sable. The belt wasn't even ready for them. I don't think Jacqueline got that belt until Judgment Day in October. So that's how long it took, and they had the match like 2 or 3 weeks beforehand. So, and that's when they were starting to get the women's division up and running again, and they still didn't give a shit. And then on the side plates, you have the WWF logo, black and gold, with a red and black, with a blue globe background, which looks really nice. And you have that mesh wall effect, shattered glass effect as well. And then you've got the black and gold shattering here, which looks really nice. And then you've got the barbed wire going all the way around this circle again, which really does not make sense. And then on the other side, same idea, the barbed wire going around with the stained glass with black and gold, and it's shattered, blue globe, WWF Attitude logo in red and black, and it looks nice. And then the strap, standard strap, basic black. I have not had anybody sign this yet. I was going to take it to WrestleMania this year, to WrestleCon, and take it to Las Vegas to WrestleCon with me this year, and get either Victoria or Mickie James to sign it. Could have gotten Lita to sign it. Technically, she did win this version of the belt, but the way I look at it is Mickie James and Victoria didn't really win this design of the belt. I would rather give them an E version. That's just me being pernickety. It's light enough to flip over, and the WWF flashy, still intact, still going strong. 2001, done by Figures Inc. on this lovely brown snakeskin backing, which is so strange, brown snakeskin, when it should have been, I would have said, maybe purple, either purple or white or pink or red. In fact, any damn colour than brown. They really did not give a shit about this belt back in the day. People remember this. This costs people money. This costs people money, because people were clicking on this non-stop back then. When I say costing them money, as in before they started selling merch on Euroshop, obviously people had to, in the UK and Europe, had to click on this to get their merch sent out to them. And funnily enough, it was cheaper then than what it is now. Even the belts were cheaper then. Looks absolutely stunning done like that though. Absolutely stunning. Okay guys, so here is the Divas Championship replica. Now, I haven't reviewed this because when it was donated by my buddy for my late wife, I put it away in a glass case and it has not been out since. So this is the first time I'm reviewing it on this channel. And if I take my time, because it was my wife's belt, please bear with me. Yeah, but it is a beautiful belt. There's no getting around it, no ifs or buts about it. It is a beautiful looking belt now when you look at it more clearly. Keep in mind though, this is version 2. There was a version 1 with the scratch logo on it, and even with this having the network logo on it, this is very cool too. So you have the network logo, black and red, and a little shield there. It looks lovely. And then, what else can I say? But you have a massive butterfly, an absolute massive butterfly. And incorporated in that butterfly, you have the wings, you have divas with little zirconias and done in white. And then the butterfly wings are done in pink zirconias and pink in there too. A couple missing, so I need to get them replaced. But the little pink zirconias are all over the main plate. Excuse me. And then you've got the mirror bit of the plate, of the main plate too. Looks very, very nice. And this hasn't been, like I say, this has not been brought out or anything like that. And it looks great. It looks absolutely great for what it is. I do need to get this done though. I've not gotten around to getting the name of my late wife on it. So I do need to get around to getting that done. And then you have Champion under here in a Regal banner. So WWE Divas Champion. And this looks really, really lovely. Basic as well. Then you go into the side plates and you've got a silver and black WWE Network logo with a lovely floral design, pink and black. And then you have pink zirconias and this lovely little mirror shape design side plate. Looks very, very nice. And it is the exact same on the other side, obviously just mirrored with the WWE Network logo, floral design, and nice pink zirconias with this mirror. And yeah, the whole silver, pink, white, it looks absolutely beautiful. Then as you go onto the strap, no tip on this one, but you do have what was standard for that time of these belts is little flower effect, and you have an arrow effect for the snap box, little flower design here, and then you do not have the basic shell shape, or you do, but very different, as you have little flowers in there where it would be the shell, and that goes all the way through the strap and into the plates. And it looks very cool because it's very different. And of course the strap coets with the design of the plates. You have the floral design here and the arrow effect and more flower pattern here too. It looks really nice. Really, really nice. And for the size of it, I can flip it over very gently. And you have the authentic WWE Network Flashy. And this was done in 2015. And the strap, the backing of the strap is very nice. No battle damage or anything like that. No scuffs. And it looks really, really good. But yeah, not enough a lot more I can really say on it. But if you give me 2 seconds, what I will be able to do for you, if I put these down, what I can do is give you all the belts in the one shot. So I've never done this before. All 4 of them in the same frame, and they look absolutely great. They look great. Absolutely beautiful having all 4 of these replicas in the one shop. So guys, thank you so very much for watching this second part of my women's division collection of my women replicas. It has been a joy making it. I hope you enjoyed part 1 and I hope you have enjoyed part 2. Now, please like, share, all you need to do to get me out there. It would be very, very much appreciated. And yeah, please comment below and let me know what is your favourite design of women's championships. There is a lot and there is very little. There has been cool WWF, WWE ones. There's been basic WWF, WWE ones. As basic as you can get, especially with certain logos now. And the TNA have had great ones. Even WCW had one at one point, which had a very short lifespan. Yeah, and also just out of curiosity, give me your favorite women's champion of all time in pro wrestling. Let's start that chat. If I had to go and admit it, my top 3 women when it comes to women's champions, right? Number 1 is Mickie James. Number 2 is Medusa, aka Alundra Blaze. And number 3 is, I'm gonna say, number 3 is actually, this is a hard one. I'm going to say it's Beth Phoenix. So there you go. There's a top 3. There's a discussion. Some would say it's the Fabulous Moolah. Some would say it's Sherry Martel. Some would turn around and say for some reason it's Sable. I don't know why it would be Sable, but yeah, please, by all means. I bet a lot of folk actually thought I was going to say Charlotte Flair, but no, she's number 4. So she's in my top 5, but she ain't in my top 3. So my top 3 is Mickie James, Medusa, and Beth Phoenix. So put it down and say who your favourite is. And as far as my replicas go, my favourite out of the 4 that I have, so I have the NXT UK, the NXT version 2, and I have the Divas Butterfly, and I have the Attitude Era Women's. My favourite, even though this one is near and dear to me because it was my late wife's belt, I'm going to have to say it's the Attitude Era one. Just because of the pure history that is behind this specific championship overall. So the Attitude Era one, aka the E version of this as well, is my favourite design. I actually like the nameplate down here. I like that. I don't see myself getting that. If I do, I will let you guys know down the road. The next set of women's championships I would really like to have is actually the updated version of the women's championship, which is the gold one. That was originally the Raw belt, then got turned into the gold undisputed. I would like to get a look at that, and I would like to see the. I would like to review the women's world championship. But what I would also do is I would do a crossover comparison of belts from the past and belts how they are now. That's what I would do down the road. But anyway, keep an eye out for other replicas in my collections, in my collection going forward. I have the Workhorse collection coming out, still working on. I have the Triple H collection, which is my World Heavyweight collection, still working on. Lovely set of belts in there. Keep an eye out for them. And as I always say, guys, you take care of yourselves and dreams be the journey. Bye.